I know when I first found out about Maladaptive Daydreaming, I would have loved anything like this. So that's what I'm gonna do. I found a question, like I don't know what you call those things, like a ask thing, whatever, on Tumblr that people do. You know, the number of questions, and they send them out, and they want people to ask them. You send them a number, and they ask the questions. I'm not explaining it right, but you probably know what I'm talking about. So I found one from Maladaptive Daydreamers, and I'm going to answer some of the questions, not all of them. What do you call your people in your daydream world? What do I call them? I think I just call them, I don't ever talk about them, so I don't know if I would call them something. But if I had to choose, I'd call them characters, I guess. How many hours do you usually use to daydream in a day? It depends on what's going on in that day, but I'd say on average, maybe like 5 to 6, 4 to 5. How many characters do you have in your daydream world? I spoke about this in my other video about MDD, and I have 15 main boys, 8 main girls, and about 30 other supporting characters. Do you have a bunch of different universes or just one big one? I have one big main one that I've had for a number of years now, but there are some other little ones that come up from time to time and then they go away. I haven't had one that has stayed as long as the big one yet, which I've had since middle school. This main big one. I've had other little ones though that came and went, and they're completely different universes. They're not a part of this one at all. They're just somewhere separate. Do you imagine your characters realistically or not? Yes, everything is happening in the real world in my main big one. In some of the other smaller ones, no, definitely not realistically. I think that's why I had the smaller ones, because everything in my main one is so realistic. The smaller ones come about for non-realistic things. Where do you get your inspirations from? Anything, a conversation, something that happens at work, something that happens in real life, a book, a movie, a TV show, anything really. Do you prefer daydreaming at night or at day? Both. Usually when I first wake up, well, before I go to sleep is probably when I most do it, unless I'm home alone. So like midday, if I have the day off, like, and I'm doing nothing. But if I have to work that day, usually right before I go to sleep. Do you have any idealized versions of yourself in your daydreams? Maybe the first one, because I spoke about this. The first one, when I was myself talking to the characters. This is when I was really young, and then it turned into a me in that world. And I guess that person was like an idealized version of myself, but she's not the main character anymore. Can you imagine your character having maladaptive daydreaming? No. That'd be way too much. That's like a world in a world in a world. I'm not doing Inception. We're not doing that. That's way too much for me. Can you describe your daydream world in 10 words? Let's see. An epic fun and adventure of everyday life and stuff. 10 words. What is your first character? Do you still remember them or use them in daydreams? As I've said, I've been a maladaptive daydreamer for a long time. So my first character was very childish because I was like 4 or 5 years old, and it was this bird that lived in another world and liked to be fat in the summer and skinny in the winter. Do you prefer writing or drawing your daydreams? Neither. I don't do any of those. I do draw a lot. I write, but mostly poems. I've written a couple of short stories, but none of them have anything to do with my daydreams. How long have you been a maladaptive daydreamer? As long as I can remember. 4 or 5, probably younger, but I can't remember that. Is your daydreaming world completely original or based on existing fictional worlds? The world, in this main one, the world is original. But some of these characters that have been here since I was in middle school are not original. The main one is always original. It's never an existing character. But some of the supporting characters are not original, no. And all of my other smaller worlds, they've all been original. And this new one that's trying to do its thing is all original. Is it easy for you to switch between the physical world and your daydreaming world, or is it a challenge? It's definitely easy. I mean, maybe easier now. I feel like I remember it being harder when I was younger, but it's definitely easy. When I was in middle school, I think there was a supporting character that is no longer in this anymore, but there was a supporting character that is like a celebrity, I guess, kind of. And someone had said something about them, and because they were a supporting character in this world, I almost said something like, oh, did you know something that wasn't true, something that was only true in this world? And I almost said something about it, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not real. So I guess when I was younger, it was a little harder to differentiate. I mean, I knew it because I didn't actually say it, but I kind of wanted to. Like, oh, I have all this secret information about this person, when I actually didn't. I didn't know this person. Do you believe what happens in your mind is actually real? For example, in a parallel universe. I think when I was younger, I kind of did. I kind of felt like, I'm going to sound crazy, but I thought that it was like this life that I'm living now. I had wanted it so much. Like maybe I was a maladaptive daydreamer in a previous life, and I had dreamed this life so that this was my next life. So I would think that the daydreams I had in this life would be the next life. That was when I was younger. I don't really believe that anymore. What ages are your characters? There's way too many to name them, but my main character is right now 23, 24 in December. And no, my birthday is not in December. Are you involved in your daydreams? Do you have a parallel version of yourself? Yes, because I had it when I was younger, and it's all the same universe. This universe never changed, this big main one. So yes, but then she kind of got pushed to the side. So she's like more of a supporting character now and not the main character. But this idealized version of myself, I guess, is still there. Wait, what? Well, I think that's enough questions for today. Like a fairy, I'm a fairy, is all.